Industry Insider is only available at PromoCorner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for PromoCorner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by two lovely folks. But before we get to them, this incredible broadcast that you're about to listen to is brought to you by our good friends over at TechWeld. Listen, when you're thinking about promotional items, stellar customer service, made in the USA products, and business solutions, think TechWeld. TechWeld is an award-winning promotional product supplier, having received the Distributor Choice Award in the sunglass category and the SAGNY Supplier of the Year Award. Check them out at techweld.com to find the customer service you deserve and the products that you need. Think TechWeld. Remember to think TechWeld for your promotional product needs. TechWeld is the leading supplier of promotional products with a huge inventory, made in the USA items and available to help distributors grow their bottom line today. Visit techweld.com and check out their drinkware, sanitizer, kit options, and more. That is TechWeld, TEKWELD.com. Go check them out. Tell them that that the Industry Insider sent you, and we will we'll I guess go from there. Meg Erber, how are you doing?
Meg Erber from SNS, and I didn't send you anywhere.
Hey, I'm on vacation, so like it is what it is. I'm gonna just let that one slide.
I think that's where we're at, right? We're on vacation. I haven't checked my email in a couple of days. I'm like wearing t-shirt and sweatpants. I actually got this in the mail from Gildan the other day. I'm like, you know what? It's appropriate. I'm gonna wear it. Let's go 2022.
There you go.
How about you?
We're joined today by PromoCorner's own Laurie Moore. How are you doing?
I am great.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Short and sweet.
I really am. I'm trying to plow through these last few days of 2021 and happy to see it go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode. And just I was looking back at some of the episodes that we've had and done this year, and it's been a really cool year for the podcast. It's been a great experience sort of transitioning, sort of how we're doing things, and just wondering how things are going to, continue to pan out as things, go back to sort of a, more of the hybrid situation, or what that's even going to look like. So hopefully we'll dive into that a little bit today. And I think, Laurie, you've got a fun game plan for Meg and I today as well. So we're going to get into that. And Meg, what is that? What is that sexy piece of equipment that came in the mail?
It's like a my little one has been like running around the house hitting that. I was like, I need that today. Just let me have it. I need it today.
It so reminds me of the Family Feud, like where you get the three X's, because you got the X
kind of
on the box.
wanted to be on Family Feud.
Do what?
I said I kind of always wanted to be on Family Feud.
Meg, you can't fit your whole family on there. You can only have 5 people. You're disqualified from the get-go.
True.
Yeah. So this is going to be a fun episode. It's going to be a year in review. We're going to talk 2021. We're going to play a little game. It's going to be a good time. But looking forward to 2022. Turning the clock forward into 2022 and getting used to writing that and all of your letters and signatures and all that good stuff. That's always the fun part about changing a calendar year, right? But Laurie, why don't we, it is obviously customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minute introduction of yourself, who you are, how you got started in the promotional products industry and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to let you take it away, Laurie.
Okay. And I do have a knack for talking a lot. So feel free to use your buzzers if you want me to shut up and move on. I will not.
Excellent idea.
I like that.
May be what we have to do from now on with a guest that talks too much.
Yes. Yeah. You just buzz me. So I am Laurie Moore and I am with PromoCorner, and I actually kind of married into the promotional products industry. I was a teacher by trade. I taught 5th grade for 8 years, and then I stayed at home to raise our 4 daughters. And my husband's family owned Bay State Specialty, which is a supplier, and purchased Americana a few years ago. And my husband started PromoCorner with Dick Reuter over 20 years ago. And so when they started, they needed help and I was at home. And so like a good wife, I, filled in spreadsheets and databases and did all sorts of behind the scenes stuff for them and never, got paid. And then eventually when they started to really grow and needed somebody, Joel slowly pulled me back in. And so that's how I ended up here. It wasn't, something that I sought out like most people, but I've been back at it 5 years now. And
But he promised you a paycheck this time.
He did. I did. I'm on the payroll. So yep, that's what I said.
Well, that's good.
Yep, paycheck was necessary. So yep, I have been back 5 years and I love it. I knew going back, I wanted to go back part-time and I knew it would turn full-time really fast and it did. But our girls are all grown now and our youngest are seniors in high school. So it was perfect timing. So I've been enjoying it. We have such a great team and being a family business, I have some flexibility, which is nice. So it's been great.
So what are your job titles at PromoCorner? Like, what do you do? What is everything that you do over there at PromoCorner?
Well, my title has changed with the seasons and the years. And so we ended up restructuring a couple of years ago after the pandemic, and I took on a lot more responsibility than I had previously had. When I first came back, it was just scheduling and kind of a customer liaison, keeping everything moving. And the last year or two, I've taken over Promo Journal and editing for all of our content, working with our content creators. I'm still overseeing scheduling and contracts and all of that fun stuff. So it's kind of, when it's a small business, you all kind of do a little bit more than what your job title entails. So but
Sure.
It's fun. I stay away from the financials. It's not what
So
I like.
Let's just take one step back though. I've got to ask, and I don't know if Meg is frozen or just practicing the mannequin face, but either way, it's going to be awesome if it's just you and I on this podcast, Laurie.
You'll automatically win the contest at the end.
I mean, there wasn't a contest anyways. Come on. It's Meg we're talking about. So first of all, I do want to take just a quick step backwards. What is PromoCorner?
Thank you. So yes, for people who don't know, PromoCorner does digital marketing and advertising for the promotional products industry. And when we started back in 1999, we were the first company in the industry to send out email broadcasts. And so we were joking the other day about, how nobody even had email addresses when we started sending email broadcasts. There were very few people. So it was a little bit ahead of the time and people thought we were crazy, and the industry finally caught up. And we've found that to be true of a lot of our services. We will be pretty forward thinking and come out with things that the industry hasn't quite, caught up to yet. So we keep trying to push the envelope and move forward with new ways to connect people, to get people's messages out, to help them, brand themselves and market themselves in a digital format. So most recently, content has become incredibly popular, and we've really focused a lot on building our content. So
what's the biggest challenge you guys think you face with being a forward-thinking business service provider in the industry?
I think the biggest challenge is that sometimes you question whether what you're doing is really relevant or if it's something that people are going to end up seeing the value in. And we found that you need to be patient. And if you can be patient and you can kind of stick with it, I mean, at some point you have to say, okay, this is working or this isn't working. But for the most part, most of the services that we put out there, if we wait long enough and we really believe in them and we keep pushing them, it's kind of build it and they will come. And
sure,
that's what we see happening. So patience.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would think that it's probably trying to get people to jump on board with it, and adapt early as well. Because people, when they're putting their money, where their mouth is, they want to make sure that there's, a solid return or, proof is in the pudding or whatever. And so I guess, having a track record of, positive outcomes is basically your proof in the pudding, so to speak.
Yes. And we try to track stats for people. So we, everything's measurable so they can see, what they're getting and who's responding. And, we always say things grow over time. So when you start, your stats might be here. And then if you keep with it and you're consistent, you start to see that growth as well. So
sure. Yeah. So I did just get my PromoCorner content gift from our Santa swap the other day or the other week. So awesome. I'll thank
and
Ryan.
what were you
again
the
on
winner of?
podcast. I got the windshield cleaner. Yeah, I stole it from
right.
Ryan at number 19. So yeah, it was pretty
yes,
good.
it's been fun watching all of the Amazon updates of people receiving their packages.
Yeah. Well, see, listen, I've kind of always wanted one of those anyways, because the inside of the windshield is honestly like the hardest part to clean, because you got to reach up in there and get past over, because it's kind of awkward to like lean forward that way, because the seat's not really meant for that. And, the steering wheel's in the way, the mirror's in the way, all that good stuff. But, if you go into like AutoZone or something like that, those things are pretty expensive. And I was like, yeah, like I really want that, but I'm not going to pay for that yet. Like we'll see. And it popped up and I took it. So happy for that. But one of the things that I wanted to note was that, from year over year, like that, the PromoCorner content creators have just expanded and grown tremendously. What's in the plans for the future, or what are you seeing as far as the growth in PromoCorner, what you guys are doing?
We were just meeting and talking about that. We try to really look at what we have for content and make sure we have something for everyone, because the biggest thing is that we always tell everybody, you're not everybody's cup of tea. And if you try to be, you're going to fail. So there's so many different niches in the industry. We try to look at everything from, age to distributors to suppliers to, small companies to big companies. We want to try to have something out there for everyone. And it does take a while sometimes for new content to catch on, just like it does with, everything else. Consistency is huge, and it's been growing, and it's amazing. We have articles, we have vlogs, we have podcasts. I mean, you name it, we have it. And it's just been fun. It's fun working with different people within the industry. We've gotten to meet so many new people. We have writers who have been writing for us for going on 15 years. And we have writers and content contributors who have just started within the last year or two during COVID and the pandemic. And I think that we've seen a huge kind of burst in the last couple of years in content, especially in things like this, where we can bring people together, and we are bringing you into people's, homes every Wednesday. And I think that people really were just seeking that connection, and
Sure.
we've been able to do it through content, which is nice.
Well, it's also one of the most diverse groups that I've seen in the promotional products industry as well. I mean, there's a huge diversity in age, gender, race, ethnicity, all that good stuff. I mean, it's a very diverse group. So I commend you guys for that. And, like you said, if you're trying to find content for everybody out there, like having a diverse crowd is or a group of content creators is a great way to approach that, for sure. So. Yeah. What are some of the things that you've sort of, like, looking back at 2021? What are some of your favorite moments?
Oh, favorite moments. By far, my favorite moment was taking our team to Puerto Rico this year. It was just.
Oh,
it was
Meg,
so...
or Laurie, I forgot. I must not have gotten the invitation. For that
the invite, yeah. I'll tell Joel that next year we need to take all of the content contributors with us as well.
Yeah.
So that was huge. We always do an annual team meeting, and we try to bring everybody together. And obviously in 2020, we weren't able to do that. And it's so important, especially for a small company, to kind of bounce ideas and, look at what's working and what's not, and where we want to go in the next year. So we didn't have that. We were planning our meeting, and I said, wait a second, we have to fly everybody to a location anyway. Why not fly them to somewhere warm and tropical and, rent a house and kind of go MTV style? So we all stayed in the same house together, and we just spent the week kind of planning for this year and looking back at last year. And it was so much fun. So much fun. So
That's awesome.
that
Well,
was
Meg
my-
has
that was my
rejoined
highlight.
us. She's now doing the Zoom of shame, as we'll call it.
Can't get any.
Meg!
I have literally 4 computers. None of them are working. None of them are connecting to the internet. I'm so done with this year. So done with it.
Well,
That's it.
Meg, there's only a couple more days left, so something to look forward to. Why don't you tell us one
Yeah.
of your favorite moments of 2021?
Oh man, when technology works. No, as I was saying before the show, these last 2 years have been just combined. So I went on Twitter the other day and I commented I made a post and I'm like, what was your most memorable moment? And one that was actually really funny that stood out was the social media manager from Performa, Mike Ross, had posted, and I actually forgot all about it. And it was like one of the most talked about things for like an entire week. But do you remember when that ship was going through the Suez Canal and got stuck? Like that was insane. And there's a lot of stuff that happened this year, and I just feel like it's just blended in. But I'm trying to think of some good stuff right now. I just know in May and June, I kept saying, I just have to get through June. I just have to get through June. And here we are. It's December 29th. I feel like, there was a lot of suffering last year, mentally. There was a lot of, but a lot of us didn't see each other. And then this year, a lot of it was by choice. A lot of us had the option to go out and get on the road and go visit people or do whatever it was and still stayed home. And I think that's fine. I think at this point where we're at, we don't have to do the same things that we were doing before. We need to be more intentional moving forward. That's why I think this hybrid environment is going to work really well. Also, the introduction to NFTs in our industry, I think, is so cool. Myself and Lisa Fosdick have really taken a liking to all of this stuff. And we started a side company called Vertex, which is, we're hitting the ground running with that. I don't know. So much good has happened. So
Meg, I've said this before, like the internet is sort of the foundation for crypto and all things NFT and all that good stuff. So you may have to get that figured out first.
Yeah, I got to figure out how the internet works.
Just a small
Very
detail.
true. I hate you guys.
Well, one thing I do,
Laurie,
I
you're
do
laughing
appreciate
too
you
hard.
rallying through it and getting back in either way. So one thing that I want to definitely bring up on the podcast is, maybe like looking back at our podcast specifically, like what is maybe one of your favorite episodes or some good memories of this podcast? And I'd love to hear from anybody that's tuning in as well on Facebook.
Oh, I have my favorite.
Okay,
All right, let's hear it,
your
Laurie.
favorite?
I died listening. I think I replayed it like a half a dozen times. The episode when Meg was describing her going over the bridge. That was my favorite. Nothing to do with the industry, but
Wait, didn't that get scrubbed?
No, that was no, that one didn't get
Oh
scrubbed.
no,
The
that's a
one
different
where
bridge. No.
my illegal
The
yeah.
perfect crime. Was it the perfect crime? Yes, that got scrubbed, I think.
Yeah.
No, the one that I had an illegal activity on that got scrubbed. That was the only time we ever asked for an edit, and I was like, yeah, that can't go
I
out.
forgot that the bridge was the one where it was going up and the guy kept screaming at you.
Go. Like I have PTSD from that. Like I try not to think about it, and then when I do, I'm like, how did we not die?
I don't know.
Did we not die?
I thought I misunderstood it. So I
thought I misunderstood it.
I mean, I thought you were just going to Italian job that shit and jump right over the gap,
Well, that's what we thought we were going to have. Like worst case scenario, it would just jump, but no, it was the ones we were going down. So we just would have gone down. There was no jumping. I'm sorry. We weren't going down. The other side was raising. So we were just like, yeah, I would have just gone right straight into the water. Oh, just thinking about that literally again is making my heart race out of my chest. Oh, but you know what? I think my favorite.
Well, you were.
Oh God.
You were in the Navy, right? So
yeah.
You know how to swim. So if you went into the water, you'd still be fine. Yeah.
I mean, I would be, but I had Addie strapped in the back in a car seat. Like, do you think about how hard that would be to get undone if we were drowning? Like, I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, Jessica Onions chimed in on Facebook and she said PR was an amazing trip. Thank you. Jessica Onions, you don't get to chime in on your special trip to PR because the content creators were not invited.
Yeah, we'll have to budget for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a contest and we'll take the COVID contributor with us.
Oh.
I don't know if that would be fair, Laurie.
No, it might not be. We'll have to figure it out.
I mean, I'm not going to argue, but you know. All right, very cool. What's one of your favorite episodes, Meg?
Yeah. I have a couple, but my favorite hype video that I had making was the one for Dana's episode. And it might have been one of the first ones we did too. It was how to do virtual events in the, going into 2021. And the hype video for that was so much fun. And I put it together. It was so long and I had to send it to Brandon and he did it side by side. And it consisted of like, we did virtual axe throwing and my daughter broke something and you did pizza making. And that was just so much fun. But I really enjoyed the episode with RJ Messenger. That was back in March
for St. Patty's Day.
Iron Empire clothing.
Empire.
That was like the whole story because I became obsessed with it. And those of you who don't know, we were trying to think of a guest for St. Patty's Day and we were like, man, we really want to kind of theme it around something Irish. And we were really just bumping our heads about it to the point where I was just looking for somebody Irish in our industry to bring on. And he had the idea to, hey, have you guys seen Undercover Billionaire? And I was like, no. So we went in and we binge watched it. And I was like, all right, well, shit, I'm just going to shoot my shot and reach out to him and ask him if he wants to be on our show. Because you want to give the synopsis of the show real quick, Jeff? Because you were really
so basically, Undercover Billionaire was a show that, and it's gone now into a second season. It got sort of postponed because of COVID. They had to like stop shooting and then reshoot or whatever. But anyhow, the first season, they basically took this billionaire dude in finance and dropped him in the middle of nowhere. And it was Erie, PA. Not that, that's a smack against Erie or anything like that, but literally taking this guy from big city into, a smaller town or smaller city and leaving him with nothing. I think he started with, $100 and a truck. That's all he had.
Yeah,
so he was basically sleeping in the truck for how many ever days until he could get enough money to get a hotel room and then to eventually get, an apartment or whatever it was. But this guy literally started with $100 and his goal was to turn it into $1 million valuation within 90 days. Just an insane challenge when you think about, the way that we think about money on a regular basis. And just to be on that scale and to think, okay, well, I can do $1 million out of 100 in 90 days is just a tremendous feat. And so at watching that show, and then in particular that episode that RJ was in, RJ was in the entire season pretty much, but this particular episode about St. Patty's was all about this guy actually called RJ up because I should rewind. All right. So one of the first jobs one of the first jobs that I'm not, you said that I you wanted me to do it. So listen, the guy, one of the first jobs the guy took was it was like a manpower sort of temp work type deal. And RJ called him and said, hey, I need somebody to come in here and screen print some t-shirts. And so he went in, did that for a day and got his money and added that to his bottom line. And then essentially took all of that money and bought a bunch of St. Patty's Day swag like the day before St. Patty's Day, because apparently it's on sale or whatever the day before. And so he was able to get a lot more of it and then just walked the streets of where, all these bars and stuff were and went bar hopping. But as he was doing that, he was calling RJ to see if RJ wanted to go along with him. And so, they're literally like RJ literally sold the shirt off his back, that kind of thing. And so, now I like that episode or that TV show and that episode in particular really changed my mindset as far as like just how you think about things. I would have been one of those people at the bar, just celebrating St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
And now I'm like, I'm not doing that crap anymore. Like I'm thinking outside of the box. I'm going to turn those kinds of opportunities into, money, or whatever. I'm into opportunity. I'm not going to just sit on the sidelines and, do that. I'm going to do something a little bit different. And it's that kind of thinking that really just, it's changed me a lot this year in particular.
Yeah.
But,
and he's a humble
sorry, that was
dude,
a long-winded description. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. So yeah, he came on the show. It was really good. He's super humble. And I remember reaching out to him. I was shaking so bad and I'm like, why? Like, he's a normal dude. I was like, hey, I'm on a podcast. You should come be on it. And I was like, what the hell? Is this guy ever even going to call me back? And he did. So I was impressed. I was super excited that he came on the show. It was an honor. And we keep in touch. And he is just a cool dude and he has a lot going on. So that was probably one of my favorite episodes. I don't know.
That was
There's
definitely
a
my favorite episode this year.
I love when you guys get those people who are kind of just outside of the box. They're not the expected guests. I mean, there's so many different podcasts in the industry and you see a lot of the same faces over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm always drawn in when there's somebody, it's like, who the heck's this? Like, who's this person? I've never heard of this person. Because I always want to know somebody's story. And so I think that those are just my favorite in general, or the unexpected.
It's a real challenge finding those people too, to be honest with you. It is definitely a real challenge. And it's one of the things that I think we probably struggle with or spend the most time doing is, number one, making sure that you have a good guest, but then, secondly, and probably more importantly, is having the right topics to talk about, because we want to make sure that we're relevant, but at the same time, not, complete. That's been the biggest challenge these last couple of years. Like the first year, not this 2021, but 2020 was all about COVID. And it felt like every episode we were talking about COVID. So, of course we had to bring different people on to talk about, their sort of take on COVID and what they're experiencing. That was the only way to really continue to talk about the same thing. And still be somewhat relevant. This past year, it's all been, NFTs and shipping and logistics and all that other good stuff. So, I mean, it's been a real challenge to find the right topics, with the world that we're living in, because there's not a ton of events to really discuss and talk about as the year goes on. But hopefully that's, starting to get a little bit better. But yeah, RJ was definitely my favorite episode. Another good episode that I thought was really awesome was when we had Eliana and Vijay on. That was a really cool episode.
I love that episode. Actually, I don't know if enough people got to see that and appreciate that, but I remember Vijay was like, I am not going on. I am not going on. I'm like, hey, look, we're on. And we're live. He's like, hi, my name is Vijay.
It was very, very good episode. You got to see a little bit of the inside story, at least of Meg and I, and sort of how it's like. I mean, it gave everybody a different perspective, and just, trying to think of things outside of the box a little bit, and, just outside of your own perspective, and trying to, view other people's, where other people are coming from as well. So,
yeah. Before we go into the games, I know we're getting close on time. I wanted to, I put a post on Twitter, and I can't remember if I said this before I got cut off earlier, and I had a bunch of replies, and I really want to read some of them because they were really, really good. So I had put out, what was Promo's most memorable moment in 2021? Obviously that boat that Mike Ross said, which I completely forgot about. Hilarious. Javier, our friend over at Playwalker, said some things come to mind. The clubhouse rooms, completely forgot about that. The return of the trade shows. Everybody on this post had something to say about ASI Chicago. Seeing people in real life for the first time after a year plus of being in a pandemic, I think it was just so amazing for everyone just to have that human touch again. I saw that a lot. The explosion of demand requiring creativity and flexibility has not been seen before. I mean, think about this hybrid environment we've all been in. People can work at home. People can get shit done. You just have to not micromanage them and let them, Bill Petrie said the moment when, mainly due to the supply chain, distributors had to face the fact they have to truly consult, listen, and solve client issues rather than just be order takers. I can't say that enough. Like, I am not an order taker. And I think that's what social media has done for us. It's done what's done for the podcast is we're humans. It's opened up these doors and these opportunities. I can't thank PromoCorner. I can't thank Bill. I can't thank Jeff and Steven, Laurie, Joel enough for allowing me to be on this podcast, because it has opened up so many doors. And I'm so thankful for the last 2 years that I've had sales wise at SNS Activewear. Not to, say that I didn't have anything to do with it at all, because I think I'm pretty good at my job. I saw a t-shirt here or a hat or there, but this being able to show people that we're humans, that we have feelings. I mean, I think you guys have seen me cry on this podcast more than once, and it just allows us to be real, versus, oh, hey, how you doing? Like, how's the weather? How's your family? Like, no, you guys know how the weather is. Like, we're talking about it. We're talking about the down and dirty of it. So I am thankful for that. And I went from Bill's reply to this, but I mean, for those who really truly understand how to run with this reality, it's gonna change their business for the better. One last one, I wanted to say what Michelle had said. Oh no, I'm sorry, Danny, because Michelle was talking about ASI. But Danny Rosen said, a realization: our industry has reassessed its value to remain relevant in the world view. Our medium is connected to unify invoices, pride, and I'm sorry, he actually didn't say invoices. It was voices, pride, and activism. So proud, the future is bright. So, I mean, we basically saved the world last year, and we don't get enough recognition. I just want to put that out there. We are the true unsung heroes of last year and this year.
Absolutely. I think going through that has actually probably humbled a lot of distributors as well, because you can't I feel like there are some distributors out there that feel like, all they have to do is raise their voice or, demand something, and, the supplier just waves a magic wand and it happens. And, this year with the supply chain issues, the way that it is, suppliers don't have that luxury of being able to do it that way. You actually have to say no. So I feel like that's probably humbled some distributors as well. It's just humbled all of us, really.
I think so. And I think it's forced everybody to really communicate. I mean, I have seen, you have to communicate to get through this. And it was so disheartening to see so many people get negative on social and, go on the attack. But on the flip side of that, there were so many people that rallied and understood and got it. So, and that's true of anything. You're always going to have, the people who are negative and complaining, and you're always going to have the ones who, just keep, staying positive and pushing forward. And I think it's safe to say that there is not one supplier or distributor or service provider out there that has not disappointed someone in the last 2 years. We all have.
Yeah.
And it kills to have to disappoint somebody. I mean, nobody wants to disappoint, but there are so many things that have been beyond our control. So I think that, there's enough people who have stayed positive and, who want to make things better. And I think we're, there's always a few bad eggs. So
I think it's kind of brought us back to our roots a little bit. I mean, really think about it. I mean, we are a solutions industry. We're a solutions business. And for forever, we've just had it way too good where things were just easy. And, now we actually have to find solutions again. You have to find the inventory that you're looking for, the product from the right supplier at the right price with the right timing, all that good stuff. I mean, it's a challenge again. You really do have to provide solutions, and you gotta scrape and scratch and claw for every dollar that you're going to get, and the ones that are finding those connections and figuring out those solutions are really excelling, I think. So Jessica Onions did chime in. She said one of her favorite episodes was the one where Steven was telling a story about tracking down an order at the airport and getting it to his client on time. I think it was one of the promo horror stories or something, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that was a really good one as well. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, why don't we get into the game then?
All
You're
right.
up, Laurie.
I'm up. So we're just going to do a little promo journal trivia game here. We're going to put Meg and Jeff on the spot. So test your buzzers, make sure they work, because you can't just scream out answers. You need to hit your buzzer and wait.
You need to see the buzzer?
Well, it would probably be helpful, but not necessary. Just make sure you can.
All right, I'm ready.
Buzz. Yeah, actually, visually, does it light up when you hit it? Hit it. Let's see.
It does, yes.
Oh, yeah. So it would be helpful to see it, I guess. See who chimes in first. Okay.
I mean, I'm automatically going to win because Meg's got like a 5-second delay from her internet. It's not even a fair game.
No, it's not even a fair game. Should I tell Jeff what he's won already?
Yes.
There are 2 prizes, so I'll share those at the end. But I don't know. Maybe I should share them at the beginning. You could win. All right. So the first question, all these questions have to do with Promo Journal, which is PromoCorner's content. So hopefully you're familiar with some of it, but if not, oh well, you'll learn something new. First one, this video series highlights a different promotional product every day. See, I think Meg hit first, but I didn't hear her buzzer.
Meg hit first, but it didn't go off.
It didn't go off.
What do you mean it went off? I heard it.
Meg, practice hitting your buzzer. No, it's not going. Oh, wait a second. It is
It
going
lit up,
off.
but it didn't make any sound.
Does yours make
That's
sound?
weird.
It's making sound. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I couldn't hear your buzzer.
Oh, let's make a noise.
But I did see her hit it first. So I feel like I should probably give it to Meg.
Promo every day.
Unfair.
Unfair.
Promo every day, right?
Yes, promo every day. All right, one for Meg.
All right,
All
you guys
right.
gotta see this.
Yes, I got to see it and hit it hard. All right, number 2. This video series airs every Monday and contains inspirational messages to kickstart your week. Jeff.
It's Kirby's Monday.
Monday minute.
The Monday Minute. That's it.
You're
Yeah.
not supposed to help him, Meg.
I'm sorry.
I knew. I'm pretty sure it was the Monday Minute, but I didn't want to look like a
Yes,
fool.
the Monday Minute with Kirby Hasseman. All right, number 3. This new podcast series is hosted by Steve Woodburn and features conversations with longtime industry leaders.
You know this.
Jeff.
Profiles.
Yes.
Damn it.
All right, Jeff's up 2-1. All right. Come on, Meg, you can tie this up. All right. This weekly content has a new theme each week and features top picks from industry distributors. There's even an end user safe version that can be shared. This is brand new, like only been out a couple of weeks.
I don't know.
Say my name.
Did you buzz? Oh, I didn't hear you. All right, Jeff.
Pick of the week.
Yes, picks of the week.
Damn it. We were like, what are picks of the week? Now that's what that is.
Now
Okay.
you know. All right.
Come on, Meg.
I know. I'm losing. I hate to lose.
Next one. This audio series could be called the industry's first podcast if podcasts were a thing in the 80s. The original recordings were produced by Joel Schaefer and distributed on cassette tapes under the name Specialty Tracks. This was a hard one.
Google. I only have one hand. It's buzzer and hold the phone.
This
so.
is such a neat series. It comes out on Fridays and it's weekly, and they are snippets from these audio cassettes from the 1980s. So much of it is. I think Jeff already buzzed.
Is it mixtape?
No, but I think that actually might have been on our list of possible names for it when we were.
It's
This one's been around a while.
the flashbacks.
Yes,
Flashbacks.
flashback tracks.
Yes, flashback tracks.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We'll give that one to Meg, but Jeff still wins.
That's fine, Meg. You
Oh,
can
is it over?
celebrate all you want. You're still losing.
Yes. Yep. And then I had a tiebreaker, but we have no tie. So
It's like the wide receiver that scores a touchdown when they're down 50 to 52 to like 7.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's what
It
that
is.
was, Meg.
It was
Yes.
a nice try.
So Jeff is our winner, and he will have a $25 Amazon gift card coming his way.
Oh,
And I don't have it to show because it's on the pallet that got shipped to Las Vegas, but there's another prize, and Meg's going to be really jealous of this prize. So you can have it after Vegas. You'll see it when you're in the booth with your live content, but
but I don't get to know what it is now.
well, you could, but it would ruin the surprise.
What surprise? In Vegas?
Yeah, you can get. Oh, that's true. We won't be seeing you. So Meg,
I mean, you're not
take
really
it home.
ruining the surprise because I'm not.
yeah,
gonna be there,
okay. Yep.
unfortunately.
I can. Well, I'll ship it to you after. But yes,
All right.
it is a. We have these couches in our booths because we're doing live content from the show floor, and we had pillows made with our content logos on them. So there's a pillow of the Industry Insider with you, Stephen, and Jeff on it. So that was his. Yep, she's gonna be
Dope.
jealous.
I am
Dope.
so jealous. I
See,
am
Meg?
so jealous.
You should
Yep.
know your promo journal
Yes.
content a little
Yep.
bit more.
And
You know?
I
was-
should.
I was wondering, I'm like, how am I going to choose who gets this after the show?
Yeah, I
But
get
I
it.
said, "Oh, that would make a great prize.
Well, if I
You
don't
know what,
steal it
Steven?
first-
Steven probably would have won too, so he's gonna feel the most bummed out.
Poor Steven.
Oh, well, we hope Steven feels better. We are sending him all the well wishes, and hopefully he gets through this. But I think he's got a fever, and we don't want to see him like this.
So rest up and get
Yeah,
better.
Better to be sick now than, in Vegas or, whatever. So the good news is he should be way out of it by then. So, feel free to go up and shake his hand in Vegas. Yeah. So those of you that have lasted 40 minutes of this podcast, I guess we're just now mentioning Steven and why he's not here. And that would be it. So
sorry, I missed it. I was gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just Laurie and I there for a little while.
Yes, for quite a while.
We pulled through. And so look, this is a new ad read as well. So bear with me as I go through it. But again, this awesome broadcast was brought to you by our good friends over at TechWeld. And look, hand sanitizers due to the coronavirus variants is still something that's trending worldwide. And the CDC recommends sanitizing and washing your hands to help prevent the spread of the disease. They have many sanitizer SKUs to help combat the spread of the virus. And they've got some FDA compliant products as well. FDA compliant. Our compliancy is a lot in a time of uncertainty. I promise I'm going to get through this. In a time of uncertainty, knowledge that a product is FDA compliant is key in allowing a customer to feel at ease when placing an order. And I said this was a new ad read, but those two are repeats. So that's good. That first one threw me for a loop. But yeah, look, when you're remember to think TechWeld when you're looking for promotional product needs. TechWeld is a leading supplier in the promotional products industry with a huge inventory and made in the USA items available to help distributors grow their bottom line today. Visit techweld.com. That's TEKWELD.com and check out their drinkware, sanitizers, kit options, and more. And let them know that the Industry Insider sent you. Laurie, thank you so much for joining us today. It was awesome to have somebody from PromoCorner on to celebrate the new year and to have a year in review.
Yep, there's been a lot of good that has come out of the year, and we truly appreciate you guys and the awesome job you do every week. It's so much fun to have you bring the energy and some fun guests. So keep it up.
Thank you, Laurie. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll take care and tune in next time for another thrilling episode. What do we got next week? We got
we have Catherine Graham next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So tune in next week for that one. And we'll see you then. Take care, guys.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of PromoCorner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.